Grand Theft Auto 6 is set to explore protagonist Lucia's home life like never before, letting players customize her living situation. Imagine starting from a small apartment and gradually decorating it, adding a cozy element to the criminal chaos. Lucia's journey promises unexpected twists, blending intense missions with quirky side activities. Customizing her home can be a fun, relaxing diversion amidst the action. Earn decorations through story missions and side quests, and watch her living space evolve. GTA 6 has the perfect opportunity to expand on Lucia's life, offering a unique and personal touch to the gameplay. Stay tuned for more exciting news and updates. Subscribe if you want me to give away multiple GTA 6 copies on the release date. Thank you and let's go. So here we are starting off with a question. So what people, media, topic or platform do you think should parody it in GTA 6? This here are my personal choices. For the superhero movies, I would love to see nothing but movie posters for different important Rage sequel spin-offs. I love the idea of having a parody of Uber specifically because I feel like it would be a nice transportation method to replace the taxi and cab. Have fun, we are people driving for you. As for YouTube, it's not that I want them to make fun of a YouTube, but more so YouTubers. OnlyFans has so much potential to be made fun of. The idea of donating money to women that don't care about them is funny enough as it is. I really think Rockstar would hit a gold mine making a parody of this one. You know what's funny is Lester makes a remark about superhero movies being milked to death in GTA 5, and that was just 11 years ago. Andrew Tate and the Rise of an Alpha Male podcast like Fresh and Fit. I could picture them being parodied on the radio. Play 4 again, and there was a whole bunch of passive content with real-life Macho Man, Bass Rutten radio show, and a TV show as well. I bet there will be an insane tech billionaire Musk Bezos type that has a hand of in automotive, spaceflight, AI, and etc. So, what are your suggestions on the GTA 6? What are we about to see from the real world being parodied on this game? I hope GTA 6 Online will take a more realistic approach. I'm gonna get down with it for this, but I hope there are no sci-fi vehicles nor mega vehicles. I hope they add more focus on property and upgrades. A rework to the money system would be great if they could make it possible to live on $1 million or so. No Imani tech needed. No oppressor and no indestructible cars and vehicles. For planes, I hope you can still buy jets and mold them on a black market, adding armor, guns, and customization. For tanks, instead of buying a tank from war stock, you can steal a tank from the military base to make it yours, saying that it will be harder to steal. This way you can still get good tanks and planes while also focusing on a drug dealing or nightclub business. The reason for all this sci-fi stuff is because online is now 10 plus years old and they needed to keep adding more extravagant content each time to keep players playing. I think 6 Online will follow a similar pattern, start out very realistic, also due to players' backlash, and towards the 6-10 year anniversary start introducing crazy stuff if they see players count dropping. Well, back in the olden days of 2013, the Rhino was still in the shop, and my idea is to make it harder to get. Your idea sounds like it's easier to get. I don't think it can get much harder than what it was in the early days to steal one. First you had to enter Zancudo, fight hordes of military whilst hoping a Rhino would spawn. Next you had to be in a position where the Rhino won't fire its cannon and hope that the driver would hop out of the fight. Then once you had done that, you had to get it out of the base. The base wasn't as accessible as it today, with no open entrance that I recall, so you had to cargo bob it out hoping that A, another Rhino doesn't spawn and take you out, or B, you don't fly too high and get shot down. Of course, the easier way was to call Lester, cops turn a blind eye, fly in with a bob, find a roaming tank, hook it, take it, drop it, steal it. The way to get it without all that hassle was to buy it, and it wasn't cheap. 1.5 million back in those days was no joke, and you had to be rank 70 to be able to buy it as well. These days it's easy to access due to the no requirements to hit level 70, plus the fact 1.5 million these days is pretty easy to come by. By being able to steal it and store it, you are making it easier to obtain one, even if the gauntlet to get it much harder. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 6 has an easy excuse to update a protagonist's home life. Grand Theft Auto 6 may delve into the protagonist Lucia's home life like never before, offering players a chance to customize her living situation. With a focus on criminal intrigue and weird encounters, players can expect Lucia's journey in GTA 6 to be full of surprises and unexpected twists. Decorating Lucia's home in GTA 6 could be a fun and relaxing side activity, adding a cozy element to the game's mass of side content. Grand Theft Auto 6 may have the perfect opportunity to expand on the protagonist's living situation over the course of the game. Among the few things that fans already know about Grand Theft Auto 6 is its protagonist Lucia, so it's only natural for speculation to swirl around her. While the trailer already offered a few hints, there are several directions that the game itself can go. This is especially true for the side content running alongside the main story. In fact, Grand Theft Auto 6 can tackle the protagonist's home life unlike any previous game in the series. Said to be the latest dive into the Grand Theft Auto's wild world, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have a high bar to meet. Past games were full of criminal intrigue and general strangeness in equal measures. The protagonist could get engaged in serious missions that pushes them deeper into the city's underworld. And then 5 minutes later, they'll find themselves running an errand for an eccentric stranger. If Grand Theft Auto 6 is a rewind of past games, then Lucia and her partner will have similarly strange encounters. Grand Theft Auto 6 could give players a say in Lucia's living situation. Lucia may start from the bottom in GTA 6. One thing that fans know for sure after Grand Theft Auto 6's first trailer is that Lucia has been to jail or will be going to jail at some point. The details of the exact circumstances are still unclear, but it's a definite part of the story. And if Lucia was in prison prior to the story start, then she may still be fresh out of prison once the player takes control. That would provide the player with a chance to build up her life from scratch. A good way to reflect this would be through her living situation over the course of the game. GTA 6 could make customizing Lucia's home a mechanic. Lucia could start the game in a small apartment, and GTA 6 could borrow from cozy games and give players the chance to decorate it. Over the course of the game, the players could have a chance to buy some decorations for Lucia's home in order to customize it to their liking. They could even earn some decorations through side content and story missions as mementos of her accomplishments. And if the player can get Lucia a new house at some point, then they could bring their past decorations as well. While it would be a minor touch, it would add character to the game. Interior decorating in GTA 6 could be a fine change of pace. Decorating Lucia's home could be an amusing side attraction for players, as the expectations for the side content in Grand Theft Auto 6 are high thanks to the past games, but GTA 6 can offer something in a new vein. A decoration mechanic could be a slow-paced feature that could let players relax between missions, and at the same time it would be a good way for players to show off their creativity and personal style by customizing Lucia's home to their liking. While it may not be as action-packed as the rest of the game, it could be a good addition regardless. Lucia's home could end up as a surprisingly compelling mechanic in Grand Theft Auto 6. Of course, most of the major impact will come from Grand Theft Auto 6 story, but the series thrives on its mass amount of side content. A decoration mechanic could not only give players something entirely different, and it could tie in with other pieces of side content, such as giving her a bowling trophy for rolling a perfect game or other such rewards. Fixing up Lucia's house could be a hidden cozy aspect to GTA 6. So that's kind of all the information we got for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.